Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Epic Dads Show. We are talking today with Rich Keeble again over in the UK. I'm Ken Walker in Virginia in the US. And we're happy today again to be together, finishing up our series on the overall aims and goals and vision of the Epic Dad program. So today we wrap that up. We've already talked about the first two aspects of the vision mission for the organization, supporting men and empowering fathers. And today we're going to finish up with transforming families. What does Epic Dad's goal and orientation toward empowering fathers and supporting men ultimately culminate in is a better empowered individual to come back and make a big difference for the entire family. So, howdy, Rich. How you doing today?
Hi Ken. Yeah, I'm great. Great to see you.
Awesome. Good to see you as well. Um, Transforming families. That sounds like a big goal, my friend. Like we're gonna take a family and completely revolutionize and alter and turn it around and spit out a product that's better than the inputs that went in. Sounds like a great topic for discussion. So let's jump in. Um, so as we've done with other topics, we kind of get into these and discuss like what's the thought process that went behind the selection of this particular goal or this emphasis for your organization.
Yeah, I think with our aims, they each build on the one before. So, um, supporting men, it's all to do with that well-being support and strengthening men, just as who they are as men, really. And then that we build on that with looking at their fatherhood role and how we can empower them and strengthen them so they feel more equipped to raise their children, to be there for them, to be a proactive, intentional father. And then that leads nicely, I think, to transforming families. Our hope is to see families uh, better relating to one another, happier and healthier in family life. And we really want to get across the message that dads are an integral part of this. They can help to create that sense of home and belonging and really lead the way in bringing their family together, that they make memories. We talked a lot already, haven't we, in previous sessions about fun and play and the importance of just shared experiences within the family. So with our activities that link to that aim of transforming families, we've really put an emphasis on bringing families together to experience some fun, meaningful time, connect with other families. So things like our dads and children's clubs, our fun clubs, have become legendary, I think, here in Suffolk. You're guaranteed 2 hours of mayhem and fun and food and friendship and just being family and supporting that father-child bond. And like with our fun clubs, our hope is as dads and kids enjoy that session together, interact with other dads and kids, get some ideas about play activities they can try at home. The hope is by facilitating that session, dads would then feel more aware and more empowered to bring that into the family home and be more proactive in enjoying other activities with their children at home, out and about in the community, and just be very aware of what they can do and not get distracted by work and household chores, but to be very present with the children and being child-led in the activities they enjoy together. And
Hmm.
then we've obviously done other things as well, like Lego clubs, which has proven so popular. And we run sessions for dads and kids, but also for the whole family, mums, dads, grandparents, children of all ages. And we found Lego a really powerful tool to bring families together, to encourage that interaction. Children, they are, developing so many ways through Lego. Their counting, their motor skills, their problem solving, resilience, all those kind of things, teamwork, all those kind of things are in play when they are enjoying Lego. And again, to be able to do that and build, construct, and create with their parents is a beautiful thing to watch. And
Mm.
then we do like games clubs as well. We do family well-being stores where we provide free items for families to help with family life. That can be everything from food to toys, clothes, household items, toiletries. So we just want to see transformation in families on various levels, really, just to help support them practically, but also support them emotionally and relationally, and offer things that are really going to make a difference in their lives.
You you're doing incredible work, Rich. And one of the things that starts to form in my mind is I haven't taken a lot of psychology classes, but there's the concept of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Are you
Mm.
familiar with that? So you talk about like each of us as individuals apparently is going through this growth and development process throughout our lives, where first we're focused on just basic survival needs, our food and shelter and those kinds of things. And then we move up to developing, the confidence to engage in community and worry about needs outside of our own and our own home and that kind of thing. And then we move up even further, and ultimately you get to the top of the pyramid where you're looking at things like self-actualization and spiritual connection and the things that are broader than just the physical environment in which you live. I've never thought about the idea until just now of that concept also applying to family relations and how that too can be looked at as an evolving and developing concept and experience for us. And I think what you're talking about is you're really helping to meet those first and second tier needs, especially for individuals that are kind of stuck in the fear and survival mode and paying, how am I going to pay my next bill and how am I going to keep my spouse and children happy and all those kinds of things. And you're helping to give them tools and resources and understanding and bonding and friendship and all those kinds of things that help to solidify the individual's image and perception of themselves so that they can start taking a look at the next rungs up on the developmental ladder and then bring those experiences into the family environment too. Um, it's an amazing concept to think about. It's not, I've never heard anybody talk about before about like the experience of being in a family, especially over a long period of time, being one where you're developing as a group, as an entity, as a group entity over that period of time. Um, Let me ask you this, and this may be a hard question to answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I know you'll have some great thoughts on
I feel the pressure now.
it. What would you see, or how would you articulate your vision of a transformed, and there may be many answers to this, but as a transformed positively family over the course of, say, 5 or 10 years, what would you ideally like to see as your vision for a transformed family as they grow and evolve and mature through the types of programs that you're offering?
I think it's to see positive change on a personal level for everyone in the family, and then for them to see transformation corporately as a family unit. So
Mhm.
it's, my hope is through our support services that we can make a difference in every individual that, that makes up the family. For the dad, if we can help the dad to feel like he's able to de-stress by having other dads he can talk to and get support from, or we can teach some kind of fathering skills through one of our courses or some mentoring that will just build their confidence. So there's kind of transformation there.
Mm,
And then for the child, if we can see some real change for them, if their confidence grows, if they feel they've made new friends and
yeah.
had new experiences and creating, like even just creating something out of Lego can be
Mm,
really build self-esteem. Think, I made that. I think through our work we can really support children in
mm,
their well-being, their mental health. They can feel really positive about enjoying time with their dad, enjoying the activities, which that sense of achievement, just having new experiences. And also for other members of the family, for mum, many mums say how much they appreciate the Saturday mornings when we run the dads and children's clubs because it's time for them.
mm,
I mean, sometimes they might just be catching up on jobs at home, and then
yeah.
he's free to enjoy being with the family for the rest of the day, or they might want to go shopping, or just having just a bit of chill time, really, because they work so hard for the family and all the various other commitments. So, funnily enough, when I offer family events like family parties, and I say, "Oh, this one's not just for the dads and kids, but the whole family is allowed to, welcome. Mums can come along too." Sometimes the mums were like, but I don't want to come along. No
Yeah,
offense,
yeah.
but I'm enjoying my time off. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
But then when mums do join us and grandparents and carers and we, variety of family members, we I can just see the joy and just from the experience and what it's doing for them, on a personal level. Because actually often mums do enjoy coming along because they get to see some of the fun things the dad and the kids have been up to, and then they get to be part of that too, which is really lovely. Um, and I just think it's really just beautiful to see, the families interacting with one another, and yeah, and there's laughter, there's and being able to give out free things to support families, and yeah, just to give them a memory really of time
Mm,
together. And like I said before, it's an inspiration to go and do other things together as a family. Because life is so busy and there's so many pressures on families to work long hours, jobs around the house, bills to pay, things to buy, and just so much going on. And I think if through Epic Dad we can provide free local fun activities just to help families de-stress and be together and kind of recenter again on what's important. It's just a real privilege to if we can help to facilitate times like this.
yeah, I think again the word that comes to mind with this part of the discussion is balance. You are transforming families by giving them an opportunity to select activities, relational circumstances, and events that take the mind off of the things that typically are stressors and conflict-oriented aspects of life and relationship, and at least giving them a momentary perspective or pause that says, instead of playing on the tablet all day, instead of, worrying about homework and bills and all those things that are, yes, they're important, but they don't have to be all consuming of all of your time. Instead of that, you can relax and enjoy and have fun and, rest, even as you
Yeah.
mentioned, the time that you're giving the mums on Saturdays. You're worth taking the time that is enjoyable and enjoying life, so that when you have to go into those more stressful activities, you at least know that there's balance available to you.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
transformation in itself. Just realizing, people
Yeah.
realizing that they can live kind of back and forth between those aspects of experience. You don't have to be compressed and condensed and stressed all the time, as many of us, I think, allow ourselves to get into that type
It's
of
so
of
true.
life path.
And as well as like just providing the fun activities, I think also providing space to talk is really,
Mm,
really key, where
yeah.
parents can talk with one another and support one another. And that's very transformational. One of the activities I run is like a parent drop-in, like a
Mm,
well-being drop-in for mums, dads, and carers. And we have some really like nice chill music playing in the background with fresh coffee, cups of tea, lots of snacks. You know what I'm like with the food and lots of
mm,
things to enjoy. There's a well-being table with some free items. Sometimes we do workshops or have guest speakers in from other services. But a big part of it really is just, after a busy week, drop the kids off and it's just having space just to, after the school run, just to talk, to relax, to regroup. Yeah, and there's laughter, there's meaningful conversations. There's just get creating a time for them, for parents to look after themselves, really.
mm.
Something I often say to the dads, which is, true for all parents, that, the best gift we can give to our family is a healthy us. So the better we look after ourselves, the more we're equipped to support our family. And I really try and help parents see, they mustn't feel guilty for doing things for themselves
Yeah.
because it's because of your love and commitment to your family that it's essential that you do take that time for yourself because they need you, but you need you need rest. You need
Mm.
time to be with friends, to talk, to get additional support. Rest. I think we all need to reclaim rest, don't we?
Oh,
As
without a doubt.
it's such an important part of our lives.
Hmm.
So like things like support groups I do, social evenings I do for dads, all of that is really feeding into that kind of providing rest opportunities because families will benefit greatly from that as we benefit from that as a parent.
That's great. So, Rich, one of the things on a personal level that I would say that I've seen in what 5 or 6 years of friendship with you that you do to transform people's perspective is showing that life can be full of humor and laughter and joy. Like almost every moment, even when serious things are being discussed, you have a way of incorporating just this silliness
Got to
and
find the funny
joyfulness.
side.
And I mean, everything really, everything has a funny aspect to it if you allow yourself to see and perceive and experience that space. And that lightheartedness opens you up to greater levels of creativity and exploration. And it's just so much more enjoyable of a space to exist and be in. And I do think you're serving to transform people and families just by offering them that way of being and way of living. Um,
That's good.
you
Yeah.
and Epic Dad most certainly, with plenty of evidence, are doing exactly what you've set out to do. You're transforming families. I've seen the evidence in you, in the families that I witnessed in the several years that I was able to work with you, and even in my own family. If I can look back from 5 years ago to now to see that many of the things I learned through working with you and your program, sharing parenting, and um, Home Start, the other program that we worked with together there in the UK. I mean, I've incorporated a lot of that stuff into my own parenting uh, it's changed. It's changed me. It's changed the way that we interact here as well. And I just I'm so proud of you, and I look forward to seeing what you do with that program in the States. I have a vision that this thing is going to take off and it's going to go beyond your wildest expectations once you hit the shores over here. And I couldn't be more excited to see where that goes and hear the stories about the families that are transformed. Not that I'm biased about impact in my country, but it's an exciting thing to think about. You and I talked 5 years ago about how much a program like this was needed in the United States for young fathers, like I was a long time ago. We won't say how long, long time ago, right? And you've inspired me, as I've talked about on other episodes, to begin giving and working with fathers in much the same way. And I've taken a lot of notes and done a lot of thinking and incorporated a lot of those ideas that you've been incorporating into your own program into the very new program that I'm starting here as well. So you're changing
Amazing.
lives all over the world, man, and you just go out and enjoy yourself and have fun. So it's a fantastic thing. Transformation is a hard thing. I'll kind of wrap up with this thought. Change is hard for anybody. People get so cemented into their present way of life, even if it's stressful and difficult and challenging, it's transformation that is the most difficult thing. And you're at least offering that as an idea to people to say, change is okay. And I'm here with you to help you work through this process and enjoy it and do it in a fun way. So thanks for what you're doing, man. It's incredible. Any last thoughts on the concept of transformation, or since this is our last episode, just sort of the overall mission of your organization, Epic Dad, in general?
I think when we first started the podcast, I think I spoke about there are some projects out there where they approach dads like they're a problem that needs to be solved.
Mm,
And, the starting point can almost seem quite negative. And I've really wanted Epic Dad's starting point to be positive. It's about championing fathers
yeah,
and celebrating who they are and what they bring to families, that they really can and are encouragers, providers, instructors, and carers.
yeah,
And we talked about coming alongside dads. And I feel for Epic Dad, it's all been about that coming alongside a dad and reassuring them that they are epic. They can be even more epic and they don't have to walk this path alone. And I think I'd want to extend that really from what we're talking about today to walking alongside families, not just the dad, but whatever the family context situation may look like, we want to come alongside families and say, we're here for you, we believe in you, we're cheering you on. We want to provide any support we can along this journey because we're all learning, we're all growing, and as you said, change is painful and challenging and hard. But it's worth it when, as a result, relationships are stronger between parents, between children, between families, parent and children together. If families are healthier and happier and thriving, then it's worth the time and the effort. But people don't have to face challenges on their own. They
Mm.
they can overcome, and they often just need somebody to believe in them. And we believe in I believe in dads, I believe in families, and I believe that we can all see positive change in our lives and see stronger families as a result. So I'm committed to continuing to come alongside families and walk with them and do whatever I can, whatever Epic Dad can do to help them thrive and be all that they're meant to be.
Yeah, you're building community, and you're emphasizing the last several letters of that word, unity. You're teaching people that this is about working together. It's not Parenthood is not a solo journey.
Mhm.
So this has been absolutely inspiring, fantastic always just to have a fun chat with you about any topic, but fatherhood is an area dear to both of our hearts. And so this has been really wonderful for me too. Um, to anybody out there listening to our discussions, thank you for being a part of this, and hopefully this has been fun and inspiring for you as well. Rich now has a YouTube channel and a Facebook site for Epic Dad, so we'll put the links to those at the end of each one of these episodes. If you have any questions or want to reach out and get more information, please reach out. Rich, I'm sure will be glad to respond. And for anybody that's interested in sponsorship, grants, or anything of that sort, be in touch because the program always needs additional support, and we look forward to seeing it grow and thrive even further. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap everything up. And thanks again, Rich, for everything that you're doing for men, for families, and really to build stronger communities. That's what this is all about. So thanks for the great work you're doing.
Well, thank you, Ken. Thank you for all your support. And I've loved these podcasts, and I look forward to our future podcasts together and see where it all leads.
Absolutely. Nothing but fun, my friend. Every day is fun. So, all right.
Sounds epic.
It's going to be epic. All right, everybody, take care, and we'll see you in future episodes. This will not be the end, I'm sure.